Hello and welcome my second standard students. This is Rohan sir from Mehdi English Medium School. I welcome my dear second standard students in today's grammar class. So first of all, before I show today's content, I show you what is the agenda for today's lecture. I must say that I am getting good feedbacks related to grammar. That simply means that you are solving the content, you are solving the exercises after watching the videos. The doubts that students ask me in between 5 to 6 in the evening, which is doubt solving time, you really are asking, the doubts that shows that you are trying to solve the exercise on your own. You are not just jotting down the answers, looking onto the videos. That is really appreciable. So I really appreciate to those who are solving on your exercises on your own, and I really am proud of those students who are at least trying to solve it, because the mistake you make shows that you are trying something new. Correct? So hopefully, as I have got doubts, as I have got a lot of doubts, and I have already solved it, but still keeping it into mind, in this lecture we are going to do nothing new. We are just going to revise the topics in brief. So let us have a look on today's agenda of lecture. So agenda of today's lecture is revision of grammar. That is what I said. We are going to revise our grammar. We are not going to do nothing new, because revision is must. In case if you have lost any video, in case if you have not watched any lecture, in case if you have not understood, if you want re-explanation, everything will be there in this lecture. So which chapters are we going to revise? Most probably we are going to revise chapter 4 to 7. If so, if we will get less time, we will again upload the second video for that, but most probably we will finish that, because I am going to give you the brief explanation, not in the detail, the brief explanation of definitions, of examples, of warm-up exercise, of exercise, and etc., the content which is there in the textbook. So this video why I have prepared is especially for the students having doubts, the one who are solving. I appreciate and the others, those who are not solving, I am not criticizing. I can just request you to solve it, because only then will you be able to match to the level of online studies. So you must watch the full video. In case if you have any doubt, maybe you will get the answer in the video in the second time explanation, because first time I have already done that. Okay, so let's get started with chapter number 1 of part 2, that is chapter number 4. The heading of chapter number 4, pronouns. Chapter number 4 is pronouns. Now, as it is a revision, I would like to just recollect your old lectures, memories, like old lectures, stuff all together here. So here, if you can see in this photo, Faisal is my friend, he studies with me. So instead of Faisal, second time he is used. Correct? Instead of Faisal, second time he is used not to repeat Faisal. So in this picture, dog is sitting. If you can see, the dog is happy, it is wagging its tail. Instead of dog, second time they have used it. Similarly with all the pictures, I showed you while I was explaining you how they are used, how the pronouns are used. Correct? If there are two people Rohan and I are friends. So here Rohan and I, two, exact two are there. So we, which is used for the plural, pronoun used for the plural, correct? So this is how I showed you while explaining you the warm-up exercise. And then we moved on here with the lines which were explaining the warm-up exercise. The first line I would like to read it. The word he is used in the place of Faisal, correct, like I explained you. So the words he, she, it, we and they are used in the place of nouns. They are called pronouns. So what is pronoun? The word which replaces noun, or in easy language, the word which is used instead of noun. So as simple as that, the word which replaces the noun, the word which is used instead of noun. So instead of using noun, if we use anything else, the word which replaces the noun is called pronoun. So instead of Faisal, the second time we used he. So now let me give you the live example. If I say that Rohan is an intelligent boy, full stop, and in the same part of the paragraph, in after the sentence ends, if I need to start another sentence related to Rohan, I should write he is lazy too, full stop. So here, okay, let me just correct it, the typing mistake. So again I should say Rohan is an intelligent boy and he is lazy too. So here you students, you can see that Rohan is an intelligent boy and he is lazy too. Now for the second time I should not write Rohan. So just imagine if I speak like that, Rohan is an intelligent boy and Rohan is lazy too. So there is no meaning, no sense of using Rohan again and again in the same sentence or in the other sentence which is in the same stanza, isn't it? There is no meaning of using it. So that is exactly the use of pronouns. So here what do you have to do? Then here we solved the exercise, correct, where you had to circle the pronouns. You need to read the sentence carefully. Again, as we are doing revision, let me solve 2 or 3 sentences for you. The cat lapped up the milk. It was hungry. So now here, the cat lapped up the milk. Okay, the cat is noun here. Though it is not proper noun, it is common noun. The name of cat is not specified. It is common noun, but though it is noun. So the cat lapped up the milk. It was hungry. And you can see that they have not repeated cat 2 times. In the first half part of the sentence, the cat lapped up the milk. The cat is the noun, and the second time they have written it instead of writing cat again and again. Why? Because for the animals, for the things, we use it. Correct? I told you before while explaining that for girl, like we use she, for the boy we use he. Similarly for the animal and for the birds we use it. There are masculine and feminine in the animals too, but here we have to just use it as a pronoun if we are referring to any animal. Similarly, if you see, my dear students, in sentence F, see, I am keeping on highlighting so that at least you can pay attention where am I reading and what exactly I am explaining it to you on your screen. So Pari and I are busy. We are doing homework. Okay, so we are doing homework. Here if you can see that Pari and I means exactly there are 2 people in the sentence. It is not singular, obviously it is plural if there are two. Yes, if you are narrating, if you are speaking this line, Pari and I, so that means Pari and you, two people are there, not one person, correct? So Pari and I, as there are two people, we cannot say he or she. We have to refer them both together. So Pari and I will become we. So for both, we have used a common pronoun we, because they are not one. We consider them as a plural, two people, correct? So Pari and I are busy. Now in the second time, no need to write Pari and I. In the second time, we will just write we. We are doing the homework. So we have saved so much of space also. Just we replaces so long, or I can say that half of the sentence entirely. So here, after that, I explained you what exactly, how exactly and why they have invented pronouns. Is that if you read this example carefully, Samira is in class. Samira loves to read. Samira is reading a book on animals. Now what? Samira, Samira and Samira, 3 times. So how it sounds? Yes, for the speaker it is monotonous, for the listener it is monotonous, it is boring. Yes, it doesn't sounds good. But then if you say that Samira is in class, she loves to read, she is reading a book on animals. So now instead of Samira, in the second and the third time in the same paragraph, after the sentence ends, at the beginning of each sentence, she replaces the word, the name, the noun Samira. So she is a pronoun because it is used in a place of noun. As simple as that. So pronouns helps us to refer to the person, animal or thing without repeating their name again and again. So that is how then we solved exercise number 2 by replacing the noun with pronoun, and then we solved exercise number 3 where you had to just finish the letter using pronoun. Then we moved on to chapter number 5, verbs. Now again let me tell you what is verb. As if you have watched my video regularly in a proper sequence, you might be knowing that verbs are also necessary in the chapter of tenses. Correct. So here if I can say that, I need to explain it to you very briefly again for the one who have not got the the knowledge, deep knowledge about this. It is very much necessary for you to understand it again and again. Especially about the verb, here the examples are given with the photo, so you can understand what exactly actions are they doing. Correct. But here it is written in the heading, if you can read that, match the doing words. What do we have to match? We have to match doing words with the correct pictures. So here the list of doing words are given in the box, and then we need to match just it with the picture. So the first picture is, I told you that what are they doing? Who are they? They are soldiers, correct? So what are they doing? They are, if you have ever heard left, right, left, left, right, left, what do? They obey these commands, and then what is that called? If that action, if specifically they are doing, it is called marching, right? So here we will match marching with the photo. Okay, great stuff. So here marching is the doing word, correct? Doing word, because they are doing. What are they doing? They are marching. And again, if you see the second photo here, what are the brother and sister doing? What are they both doing? They are playing, they are jumping, correct? In the air. So what is that called? Jumping. Jumping is right here. We are going to match it with the photo. So they are jumping. What are they doing? So this is again the doing word. What are they doing? So they are jumping. Correct. So again, so that means that doing word is a verb. I have given you the definition, but still definition is here. We are going to read that again. These words are doing words. They tell us what someone or something does. So children, what is verb? Verb is a doing word. This is revision. If you want to repeat after me, you are free to do that, because only then will you be able to revise it. So these words are doing words. Which words? These words are doing words because they show some action happening, someone doing some action, some activity, correct? So that's why they are the doing words, and the doing words are called verbs. So, and then we solved the first exercise where you had to choose the doing word, a verb, for each of the following blank in which photo clues are given to you, and I hope that you have solved the left out exercise blanks. Moving on to the second exercise, you had to just fill in the blanks with a suitable verb. Here no options were given to you, so you were having your vast choice, whatever you want, but it should match in this exercise, correct? So whatever you want, you can write inside this blank. And we also solved many blanks. I suppose half of the blanks we solved in the video lectures. So by now you should have solved full exercise, and I know that you are you are intelligent enough, and I have got the feedback, so I know that many of them have solved the exercises on the regular basis. So here you had to put your own verb, like if you see that second blank, a ship dashed in water. So you cannot say walking. Okay, walking is verb. You have to choose your own verb. You are free to use, but that verb should match the blank. Ship cannot walk. Ship cannot run. So you should have that knowledge. Ship sails in the water, right? So you need to write sails instead of running and walking, and this is what. Okay, you cannot just mug up the answers, but at least you should have this knowledge of that. What ship sails in the water. Okay, and similarly if you say that here the baby dashed for 9 hours. So what can be the convenient verb for these blanks to complete this blank and to make it a proper sentence? You can say the baby plays for 9 hours. You can say the baby sleeps for 9 hours. Whatever you feel like, but it should match. Now you cannot say the baby walks for 9 hours. No, a baby we are referring here as a newborn baby, correct? So just imagine a baby. If you call someone as a baby, as a small baby, they cannot walk for the 9 hours. It is not possible. So you have to think for the answers which are feasible to fill in the blanks. Okay. Let us move on further. Then we moved on to the chapter of adjectives. Chapter number 6, adjectives. What have we done in this? We have learned what is the describing words. Adjective means describing words, correct? So that we have learned that adjective means describing words. Now what does it describe? It describes the noun, correct? So you were given with the photo examples over here. In the photo, here the nouns are provided, and before that a blank is there where you have to fill it with the adjectives. For example, dash ball. So how can you describe the ball? That will be the adjective. So if I say colorful ball, now colorful is adjective. If I say big ball, big is adjective. If I say small ball, small is adjective. So the word which describes the noun is called adjective. So with this we read the definition. And definition again I would like to read it in front of you is the word that you filled in tells us more about the nouns. So we filled colorful, for example, colorful ball. So the word you filled in tells us more about the nouns. Now, like how the noun is, such words are called describing words. And describing words are also called adjectives. So describing words, the word which is used to describe the noun, that means describing word, as simple as that. So those describing words, the words which you use to describe the noun, are called an adjective. Okay, fine. So with this we solved first exercise after the explanation of what is an adjective and verb of exercise. and then here you had to circle the adjective which is applicable on you. Correct. So you might be having different answers. I cannot judge you. So it is up to you which adjective is applicable for you. You had to highlight that particular adjective in your textbooks. Moving on, we solved second exercise in which I suppose I only left not more than two blanks for you to solve it on your own, because rest of what I have already solved on the video lectures, and I hope that you don't have doubt for that simple thing. Then third exercise, fill in the blanks using correct adjectives from the box. Now here the confusion you were getting, I got the feedbacks from the students that you were getting the confusion where to put which word. For example, one word is applicable to two blanks. Now where to put it? So listen here carefully, you need to understand this. If for an example big is applicable on two blanks, you say I like those big apples, okay, and then you say the tree has big leaves. So for suppose according to you, this is just an example, so according to you big is applicable on say for example sentence A and sentence C. So now you get confused where to place it, sir. So my dear students, it is very easy. You have to first read all the blanks. You need to go through all the blanks, and then you need to compare whether this big is applicable more on the apples or on the leaves, and then accordingly you have to judge for the answers. You cannot directly put the answers that like first come first serve, first you read and first you applied there. No, maybe for apples now you see more applicable word is red, so maybe you make a mistake if you put big over here in the place of in the blank of apple. So it is very much necessary to read all the blanks properly, to understand that, and then to move on to the options given to you in the box. So this way we solved the third exercise. So I hope those who were having these kind of confusions are now clear of exercise number 3. Okay, moving on, we solved the adjectives in the poem. Okay, so we had to circle the adjectives in the poem. This is also what 90% of I already did in the video lectures, and you had to do it on your own. And yes, many of them have sent the homework, so yes, you have already solved, I know that. And then last chapter, simple present tense. Now this is what I have already done revision of, and this is very last time we are revising simple present tense. Henceforth, if you have any doubt solving that, you can just get it solved between 5 to 6. But still, very carefully listen to this. Simple present tense, in this chapter I first explained you the meaning of tense. What is tense? Tense means nothing but time, correct? So I explained you what is tense in this chapter, and then we moved on in the detail that what is simple present tense. There are actually 12 types of tenses, out of which this is very first type, and in your chapter 7 you are only going to face this simple present tense in chapter 7, correct? So here I have explained you the warm-up exercise, in which the sentence, if you observe, you had to underline the verbs. So like I said while I was revising the verbs chapter, that verbs is very much necessary for the tenses. So here you had to underline the verb. You can highlight in the either way you want. There are many ways to highlight the verbs. So in this sentence, if you see, she runs very fast. What is verb? Verb I explained you, doing word, action word, whatever action you do is verb. So here she runs very fast. So runs is the verb, because what is she doing? Doing word is runs, correct? She is running. So runs is the verb. What about the second picture I explained you? The sun rises in the east. So here the sun rises in the east. Actually it is from the east. Ignore it. We are going to concentrate on the verb. So what is the verb here? Rises. So this is the action done by the sun. Sun rises and sets. Correct? So this is the action. That is so the action is a doing word. Doing word is the verb. Again the same thing. So this was clear This was, I think, very much clear, because this is what we have revised twice, in the verbs chapter and this in the tenses chapter as well. So the verbs you underline tells us about something that happens as a routine or as a habitat. And what else have I added? If you have watched my lectures carefully, I have added one more thing with routine and habit, that is universal fact. So in simple present tense, the sentences will be only of three kinds. Either it would be of routine, or it would be of habit, or universal fact. If you say that the sun rises from the east, now what is that? That is universal fact. Even if you go to America, Australia, India, anywhere, sun rises from the east only. And how about if you say the earth revolves around the sun? That is again universal fact. Earth is in a spherical shape, again universal fact. So these are also included in the simple present tense. So this is how you can recognize simple present tense. Yes, by reading the sentences. And then after, we solved exercise number 1 of tenses, where you had to underline the verbs in the sentences. It was as easy as we solved the warm-up exercise. The children go to school every day. What do they do? What is the doing word exactly here? What do children do? They go. Where they go is not necessary. What are they doing? They go. Okay, so go is here the verb, correct? And then Joe plays tennis. What is he doing? What does he do? He plays tennis, correct? So here, as you say, Joe plays tennis. It is his routine. Again, simple present tense. Okay, but here verb is plays, correct? So my dear student, with this, and then I explained you the 3 different rules with the tables here in your textbook, how to make plural when there is he, she, it. And I hope that you remember that whenever there is he, she, it, that is singular form, even if it is a name over there in the subject part of the sentence, then we have to add s or es with the verbs. I repeat, whenever there is he, she, it in the subject part of the sentence, we need to add s or es with the verb. Verb means action word. Like sing is an action, to sing, correct? So now if you observe this table, I sing, we sing, you sing. Okay, but when there is he, she, it, we need to add s here, correct? He sings, she sings, it sings. Okay. Similarly, the second rule was how to add es. So whenever there is O, C, H, S, H, S, X or Z, we need to add es at the end of the verb. That is what you have already learned. I think that I told you to learn this much at least. These 6 extensions at the last, if you find this, you need to add es if there are either of the cases. If there is he, she, it or anyone's name, it should be singular. And then the third rule which I explained you was when to add ies. So whenever there is y, if you can read here, for the verbs ending with the y, we remove y and we replace it with ies. So when we use it when there is a singular he, she, it again. So only changes happens in the tenses when in the subject part, that is in the starting part of the sentence, we will find he, she, it or anyone's name. For example, Rohan, again he is considered as a boy. You say Sakina, again she is considered as a girl. So she, ultimately boy is he, girl is she, things are it. So if we find he, she, it or anyone's name, again we need to change this. If there is y at the end, we replace it with ies, correct? So this is what I explained you, and then you I hope that you have solved this exercise number 2, where you had to replace the words, you had to fill the blanks using the simple present tense of the words given in the bracket. Means you had to make the simple present tense with the rules we have understood, I have explained you in this lecture. So now I hope you have no confusions related to 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th chapter. If so you have, watch this video again and again, because the area where the students were having maximum doubts, I have tried my level best to solve it again in this revision video lecture. And I hope that in next test, if we take the online grammar test, as so we have taken the English test, I hope that you will give your best, and for sure you will score the best according to you. Not less than 7 I need, because we have done a lot of practice and revision work. I hope that you enjoyed this lecture. With this, I end today's lecture. Goodbye. Take care.